G'day punters, welcome to a live edition tonight of the Mailbag Preview Show. Big edition we've got previewing the Caulfield Cup on Saturday, and we'll also touch on the Everest. As always, brought to you by puntingform.com.au and baggybet.com. If you don't have the app, download it today. And always remember, gamble responsibly. We'll go around the grounds and see how everyone's been. Jack, how was Wednesday out there at the races with Keats?
Exciting day. Took Das, took Mum. I thought Willow gave it a peach. Just ran into a pretty good one, I think. But banked 23,500 or something, which, given we paid 25 for him, life's pretty good. Bloodstock business is doing better than we would have anticipated, Shane, no doubt. We have a couple of yearlings available at the moment with Gavin Jesus Bedgegood, if you're interested. Jono at themailbag.com.au. It's a Headwater filly and it's just a Headwater filly we have available at the moment. Yeah, just the Headwater filly. Gab, you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking. To the Everest this weekend, actually. So
really?
Yep. Caulfield Cup Day as well. It's what dreams are made of, isn't it?
And Shane, how's your week been since we last spoke? When Monday night, I think it was. Any winners?
Yeah, mate. Had a winning day at Ipswich on Wednesday.
Standard.
I'll tell you what.
Not really standard at Ipswich, though, is it?
No, me and Ipswich don't get along at all. But we did. We saw eye to eye Wednesday, and I made it my. I won there, so that was good.
Friend, yeah.
So yeah, it was good. All good, James. I'm looking forward to a big Saturday of racing. Hopefully, it doesn't get washed out. And then
it has non-stop rained here for 24 plus hours. Unbelievable.
And then I fly down Wednesday for possibly the last 2 weeks I'll ever live.
You've been off the piss for how long, and you're coming down into 2 weeks of heavy drinking. Like, are you ready for it?
Hey, I feel like I've been at Chris Waller's for 12 weeks and I'm ready to go to the races. That's how good I feel right now.
Ross Salt Brody picked up Australia's second best cricket punter too this morning, so it's getting a bit hot down here.
I can't wait to get down there.
Well, guys, we will crack in. We won't touch on any bloodstock. As Jack mentioned off the top, we've got the one horse for sale. The boys are going well. So keep an eye out. If you do ever have any questions, Jono, Jono, at themailbag.com.au with any of your bloodstock queries. But what we're going to do, we're going to crack straight in to the big one, the Caulfield Cup, over 2,400 metres at Caulfield on Saturday. Let's go through the full market tonight. Number one, Gold Trip, $13. Duas, $20. Knight's Order, $12. Montefilia, $20. Numerian, $12. Nonconformist, after a couple of good runs, $11. Vow and Declares drifted a little with this weather, probably at $21. No Compromise, $19. Allegron, $11. Richie Beno is $12. Would have been better if he was either drawn $22 or was $22, wouldn't it? Great House, $31. Inspirational Girl, $20. Maximal, after a good run in the Turnbull, $21. Sound, write your own ticket. Chapada, $61. Crystal Pegasus, $71. Should probably have a zero at the end. Smokin' Romans, our $5 favourites. Charlie Rose, $81. Durston, $41. And Macram, $31. Now, we'll throw over to Jack to talk a little bit about the speed map and let us know how this is going to play out.
Yeah, so I'm just going to adjust some prices now, and we'll be live, and their prices for everyone. If you want to have a bet, you're welcome. I think Knight's Order will cross from 18. Charlie Rose probably kicks from the good gate 8. Smokin' Romans will sit wherever it wants. I think, and Shane could probably help us here, Numerian rolls forward and is positive from 10. Don't know what to do with Montefilia and Allegron from 14 and 16. I think Gold Trip gets a pretty good run with a good jockey switch from 12. Inspirational Girl, Crystal Pegasus, Sound probably try and kick up from the inside draws. Nonconformist, Maximal, Vow and Declare, and Benno look to have really tricky maps and probably have to go back. Duas, don't know where it lobs, but it's not going to be forward to midfield, I wouldn't think. And I reckon No Compromise will need a peach, but it's probably favourite to get it, Shane.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not like overly concerned with its draw, and I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be the right part of the track. Bit of, obviously there's been a little bit of rail movement there at Caulfield. The only horse to cut the corner and win later in the day as it was wet was Waller's. The rest sort of paddled there, and obviously that rail out, it's different dynamic again for what we saw Wednesday. But this depends how much rain you get in Australia's most livable city.
A ton.
So let's have a look at No Compromise winning the Metropolitan last start there up in Sydney, which was on a heavy track. Durston comes out of the race as well. It was a nice tight finish with Le Don de Vie. As you can see, he was sort of cramped for room and had to turn at right angles, which I think we see coming up just about now. The gap gets closed on him, and he has to make a right-hand turn and come up the inside, which is pretty handy in a horse to be able to do in the heavy 8, which he's definitely going to need on Saturday. And there's Durston coming down the outside there. Gab, what are your thoughts on No Compromise? Obviously, having the run over 2,400 and the heavy track form, are you in his corner?
Yeah, I've definitely got him in the top 5. I thought that last run was just really, really good and could set up well for this. Obviously, the heavy form as well. And, he wants as much rain as possible. And Craig Muir to board, 53.5 kilos. I think he does get a good run here, depending on where he's able to sit from the 13. And he loves at 2,400 metres, doesn't he? 4 wins there, so yeah.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of big ticks for him, isn't it? Obviously the trip and the going on Saturday. And if it is a heavy 10...
The platform he's got to run out a really slogging 2,400 metres. He's got probably the strongest platform. He's got a grand final trainer. I think if he drew 7, he'd be half the price almost.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my question. Is his price to do with the map where he's drawn?
He's been spec'd already, not with us, but I anticipate he will be spec'd a little bit. I reckon he starts closer to $15. What about you, Shane?
Oh, I just want to know what price he is now with you, really.
He's $19 right now, Shane. Duas is $20.
Don't bother. There's better prices elsewhere.
Do you want to
so if we pull up the graphic of the prices again, and we'll take a look. Sort of the reason around doing the show live tonight was to do a bit of an hour of power. What we're going to do is you see those prices in the orange. They're the prices that Jack and the Baggy Bet team are keen to take on. So if you do like those horses that are marked in orange there, so you've got Duas at 20, Benno 12, Great House 31, Inspirational Girl 20, Smokin' Romans, your favourite at $5, and Durston at $41. Download the Baggy Bet app now.
Gamble responsibly. Gamble responsibly.
It only takes a minute to sign up, get involved. Yeah, as always, gamble responsibly. But down the bottom of the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see a link. Click through the link there, sign up, and they're those prices that we will keep up until 8:30 tonight. So another hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes.
Or if we get absolutely creamed, we might change the prices.
But you see those ones in there. So as the guys are talking about the horses tonight, those ones there in orange, Baggy Bet are top of the market. So we'll go into a bit more depth and how about we take a look at the Turnbull, because majority of our runners are coming out of the Turnbull this day. A little bit different on the drier track there at Caulfield, but very, very dominant win from Smokin' Romans. What are your thoughts on him, Shane?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think it's the rightful favourite. He's been extremely well handled to get into this race, down in the weights. And I think weights will play a big part in this race, particularly on a heavy surface. Light weights and on speed are going to be advantaged one way or another. So the deserved favourite, I certainly wouldn't be laying it. Is an obvious top 10 chance. obvious top 5 chance, obvious top 3 chance. I certainly wouldn't. I won't. If I'll be betting on the race and it won't be a loser. I won't be cheering it.
Well, it's
because
$5 right now.
I'm happy to bet around, but
$5.
Yeah, okay.
Do you normally take into account sort of weights, or are you giving it a little bit more, pardon the pun, weight on this occasion?
Like sprint trips, I don't care. I'll back a horse with 66 kilos versus a horse with 56. It won't worry me one bit. Don't look at it. When it gets wet, I think there's a differential, and obviously the further in trip, the further I think it plays a part. And obviously in a race like this on a heavy surface, it's going to be like a slog, most likely, looking at the weather. And that being the case, you just want everything in your favour versus rivals.
So there was a few horses in behind him that day: Knight's Order, Gold Trip, Inspirational Girl, Due, Great House, Chapata, Maximal. I know you're always a massive Chapata fan, Gabby. Do you give him any chance to, he's probably not a winning chance, but, is he a top 5, top 10 chance in your eyes?
I'm not 100%. Sort of last run put me off a little bit, although, the start before that, he was so brave here at Caulfield, running 4th behind Smoke and Romans. I really did think he'd do better last start. However, he was 3 wide. And I guess that does, show me that Gold Trip's run was actually really, like there was a lot of merit in it, because Chapata ended up back sort of where she should have ended up, being that 3 wide, like had a tough run, and Gold Trip sort of progressed on a bit more from there. So, I mean, if he brings the form 2 starts ago, he can always finish off. And I thought this prep he was doing a bit better, but I'm just a bit weary after last start.
You're certainly in the Gold Trip corner, aren't you, Jack?
Look, the 3 kilos swing isn't a good thing. The heavier the track gets, I can say that. But he started $370 versus Smoke and Romans $21. So I think when you put it through the mixer, they should be a little bit closer than they are in the current market. I think it's to Smoke and Romans' detriment to lose Ethan Brown. Like, he's 2 from 2 on the horse.
Are you right? Are you right?
I think, well, I don't think it's normal to sack a winning rider.
But I don't think he got sacked. He chose to go and ride.
Not
Everest.
The result is he's not riding the horse. You know what I mean?
Who rides it?
Jay Carr.
What a shot! God, what a downgrade.
We'll take the 5.
Have a look at your bets. Are you even watching your market here?
Well, I'm answering the questions. Yeah, I'm watching it. Can you let me
Brown's
talk?
on a leg run, isn't he?
Yeah. So he hasn't completely stripped, but like his rides and his rhythm on this horse has suited it. I just thought that should be a little bit closer. I reckon they'll end up a little bit closer. It'll be fascinating to see what the big boys do with the weight stuff, because I don't really care about it as much as other people do. But the proof will be in the pudding in the market later on. I think Knight's Order is in really well at the weights, really well at the map, suited on a softer track. Wasn't suited the way the track was racing, like in regard to the rating of the track at Flemington. Will be here and will be there for a very, very long way. I'm really keen to lay Duas, and that's probably how I see the Turnbull. I'm happy to take on Inspirational Girl, like this, just Cerise and White, Victoria. I'm going to lay. And
so what's your reasoning why you're sort of taking on Duas? I mean, before the spring, she was, the Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup, Australian hope to win those races, and is a bit on the nose at the moment. So it'd be nice to know your reasoning why you're happy to take her on.
Map, current form, and map again. There's nothing that she's done recently that says she's going any good, and she's going to have a really tricky run here or be used up early when she's not going good. So I'm happy to risk her.
Well, we've got another replay that we will take a look at. It's the Hill Stakes up in Sydney there with a couple of runners, obviously Montefilia and Numerian. So we've got Cascadian up the inside, who actually wins the race. Numerian Brave in second, and Montefilia sort of ongoing or ground that a lot of punters thought was her going. To my eye, was very disappointing that day.
James, just before we touch on this race, I've just got to go back one step. Remember that Jack said that Smoke and Romans couldn't win the Turnbull because it had already qualified for the Caulfield Cup and they were just giving it a run?
I do remember.
Okay, so you can you better check your bet slip because I've backed it. Like, I'm just backing it purely out of spite because he's got no idea what he's talking about. He's laying horses for fun. It's an easiest chop out bet you ever had.
So I'm going to have a look here, punters. I've just opened up. Opened up Shane's Baggy Bet account, and I can confirm at 7:12 he's had $500 at the $5 Smoking Romans to win the Caulfield Cup.
Ethan Brown off is a negative, he reckons. This will do, mate. You should have prepared yourself for the show. This is live, you know. Do you want me to put it on Twitter to prove it or anything, or you got the bet receipt there?
Oh, I've seen it. I can see it.
Happy to tweet it.
I'll tweet that.
So
I'll tweet that.
Montefilia is. Yep. She's definitely not going good enough to win this, surely.
I like grey up, big grey up, tricky map. I don't know. Like, she was very well back to win a pretty good race last start. I don't know. What do you think, Gab?
I'm not too sure about Montefilia. To me, I thought she'd have to be improving off that last run. Especially from barrier 16. Wasn't sure where she's going to go.
Honestly, is anything going any good in this race?
You to double down on your Smoking Romans bet live, or
I've bet to MBLs. I did look like everyone else was 460, and I just had to.
No compromises going good.
Well, no, it's not, Jack. It should be 30, surely.
well, what about the other one out of the Hill Stakes there, Numerian? Does anyone give you the chance?
Has to be a chance, James. Has to be a chance because it's going okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep harping on how good the Queensland form is, but it did.
Here we go again.
It did come up here and win it. What did it win? The Queensland QE2 or something?
Some Eagle Farm race, yeah.
Yeah. Might have beat Zaki that day, did it, Gab? From memory, I think it did. Anyway, it's got to be a chance. It goes forward and. It's going good enough. There's a lot that I just don't know whether they're going good enough or will handle the conditions like this. Horse should handle it all right. A couple of seconds in good grade. Got to be a hope.
I think it's a big step up for the horse class-wise, but everything it's done this prep's been really strong. I think it's suited to the heavy track, and I think he can roll from 10 and be pretty handy. Like, I doubt it matters if you're 3 wide come this race with the way the rain is.
So you've done all your form or everything on heavy. You're not taking into any consideration that, these amazing Melbourne drying tracks can. No,
it's Caulfield. It's not Flemington. It's a heavy 10, I think, for sure. It's like what do you think? It's absolutely teeming down today.
It hasn't stopped since yesterday morning.
Yeah. It was a heavy 10 probably by the end of it yesterday. It's rained nonstop since. They raced whilst it was raining yesterday at Caulfield, which is never a good thing. And they got right off the fence too. So they raced everywhere on that track. I think you have to do your numbers for a heavy 10.
Coming into a meeting like this, is it hard to sort of predict how the track's going to play with so much rain, with that, Wednesday meeting that not only was on a heavy, but like you said, there was rain getting into it throughout the day. So I think
there's 2 points to make. That you need to be flexible because there'll be scratchings, and if it keeps raining or it's rained just like as much as it has, it'll evolve through the day. It's a 10-race card, so what happens in the first couple might not be what happens at the death. If you want to have early bets, I'd be looking for horses that settle midfield or better. Like, more often than not, when it's really, really, really wet, it seems to favour those horses that settle forward to midfield.
So back to the race, and back to a couple of the. horses in the market, and one you want to take on, Jack, at Baggy Bet is Benno. Sort of had that flashing light run last start, didn't he? What's your reasons why you don't think he can win?
Oh, it's a negative jockey switch. It was just like a soft, cruisy run behind really good horses in even lanes last start. It's now drawn barrier 20 with a downgraded rider. It's just an awful map, and I want to take it on just on that. I can't believe it's single figures.
And it's won one of 22 starts or something.
Like Allegron beat it, and it's a bigger price than it.
Well, also no compromise as well, coming from those Sydney races there. In both those races, in that race there, no compromise was just as good. So, yeah, the price to me is baffling.
I think Benno's like a good horse, and if it was a better track and he had drawn barrier 9, then I'd have a very different view.
Yeah.
But just with the setup, I want to take him on. For tonight, get in now if you want it. Otherwise, then we're going to sort of lean back into the market. But
as we did show earlier, Benno is one that Jack's keen to take on, and $12 is top of the market. So follow the link below.
They're steaming into the Smoking Romans $5. Just a
so we've got a
live
report update there. How many bets do you think we've written?
I don't know.
I don't know where you could knock Benno.
Here we go.
There's one. Didn't it run second to a Totsu?
Mm.
Who had Totsu? Kieran was taking that to the Japan Cup after that Derby win. It was the best horse that anyone had ever seen after that win. It was it was highly touted, right? I'm not taking the piss.
Yeah,
highly touted. I was on Benno that day, and I thought it was going to win, and because it didn't, I've just labelled it a nonny ever since. It's just pure pocket talk.
Benno started around the same price, Shane, as a little bit shorter than Surefire in that race where Allegron beat it. Surefire came to Melbourne in the Turnbull and was so. Is it going as good as it was going when it almost knocked off a Totsu?
Well, Gab, what have you thought? I know we'll see later on in one of our graphics. I know that you've got one foot in the Benno camp.
I don't mind the horse. I just I was a bit worried about the barrier and just where on earth he's going to position himself. I have no idea, but I thought I better just stay on just in case he does sneak a bit of a cheeky run somewhere. I do rate the horse and is they sort of they've sort of lined him up for this, and
it could flip on its head and end up being like a Moe heavy 10 track where it's just a rush to the outside fence.
Yeah,
straight, and then all of a sudden he's half suited.
Yeah, so I'm happy to keep him in the top 5, but yeah, I was concerned about the 20. It's just ridiculous.
And what about the old boy Vow and Declare? Look, he had a good run last start. The probably unknown would be the heavy going. Is that correct, Jack?
Yeah, it's just a hard horse to figure out, a hard camp to figure out. It looked like it was really good, but it wasn't that great. But you can't sort of say it wasn't great. It just sort of couldn't do much, but it looked like it wanted to do heaps in the Bart Cummings. It's had 2 sort of foundation runs at 2,500 metres, which probably gives it a really good base to go good here. It's not in the Melbourne Cup yet. It needs to run well here, so this would have been the target. D-lane off. Blake Shin's airborne, but it is D-lane off. So I don't know. I don't know what price it starts at all, to be honest. I found the horse really hard to price. Shane, any view?
I wouldn't be shocked if it started longer than the price that a few punters took it in the futures after that run. That high emotion form, be serious for a start. And that last start, Luna Flare, travelled. Luna Flare was as keen as me to get to Melbourne.
Of course he gets in a little Luna Flare that he tipped.
Right.
Yeah, look, you're taking his line. Yeah. Did you tip it, Shane?
Luna Flare was completely hashtag blessed in run. He didn't have to do anything on it. He just had to steer it. It was charging. Right, and it's just a junk race. There's too much junk in it. They got too close.
Bunch finish, yeah.
Completely penning that race. Vow and declare, I'm not interested in the narrative that they reckon it's going as good as it was when it won the cup. Should never have won that cup anyway. So, no, it can start 50s for all I care.
Some very, very strong thoughts there.
Right, I might wind it out just
and,
off the back of Shane's energy.
And I think that a lot of the mailbag subscribers who have taken some futures there are probably head in hands watching.
I didn't want to mention it. But I didn't send it. And
there you go. $34 bound declare for the next little bit, punters, if you want some.
Yes, that's what I sucked in to do. I like it. Kidding.
And one horse who a few of you have sort of touched on in passing, but let's dig a little deeper, is the Godolphin runner that Ethan Brown does get his chance to ride in the race. Allegron, I know you're keen on his chances, Shane.
Yeah, and why wouldn't I be, James? This is, I thought he's progressed well this preparation. Just go back a step to his last prep, 0.7 to Hitotsu on a heavy track at Randwick in one of those derbies over 2,400. Then went back to Flemington and won I don't know what race it's called, over 28, back on a better surface. So obviously the trip won't be a problem.
St. Ledger,
the time honoured. And
bring the cunning fox.
And Johnny got angry, won a derby too.
Nasty little man.
Let's forget through it. Let's forget last season's form. Let's have a look at this horse. Has he gone on? I say he has. Like the Blue Army is a team that you could very comfortably be on. They're going super. Obviously, that as I said, that heavy track run behind a Totsu is a great pointer for this. Obviously, I have a high opinion. I've had a Totsu form, and they've sort of gapped and killed a lot of horses' career. I shouldn't use that word, but there's a lot of horses that just haven't recovered from chasing Hitotsu in that derby. And I think this is a strong horse, and I think he's shown this prep that he's been building ready for this. And I reckon it's a substantial positive jockey switch, and I think it's a great chance, and it's definitely in my top 5.
Nice. Couple that we sort of haven't let anyone give any chance to, your Macram, Charlie Rose. Surely Crystal Pegasus, with the form it's in, shows that Mornington race should not be a free entry into the Caulfield Cup. It's too far away.
Yeah, but I don't think it hurts the race. Like, if anything, it's like, if you want to get into the race, make that race better, like go to that race and get in.
Yeah.
Like Shane's horned up for Smoking Romans because they got in and they've been out in an elite camp, sort of prepped the horse perfectly. So there's the same sort of case to make for that horse. Like it's in Shane's favourite camp, the Waller camp. I think if Shane had a power ranking, it's just Waller just in front of CMR, the Colt. It could improve, couldn't it?
I know James said it should be 1,000s. Like, I would be absolutely shocked if this didn't run better than its starting price, purely because this camp has known since March last year or whatever it was.
Something like
that. This camp has known since March that this horse is in the Caulfield Cup. It just stinks. I hate these filthy setups. It's like that. Like you just know the camp will improve on grand final day. It's like that Madame Pomeroy. Like I said it on the preview. Look at this.
Here we go again.
And then the horse goes back to the inside and wins on a lane that every other horse has sunk to its girth in on the day.
We're 100
grand final trainers. If you're hundreds, it could start.
We're 113% right now, and Crystal Pegasus is 71. I'm just going to wind that in. I think I'm allowed to.
I'm not saying it can win or anything, James. What I'm saying is that I would be shocked if this camp didn't get it to produce a PB grand final day. I'd be shocked if I didn't.
There we go.
I couldn't agree. I could not agree more. Just if a PB is good enough, and if a real heavy track's going to stop it, but I couldn't agree.
But it can run top 10.
It can definitely run top 10 at a big price.
We should nearly go through the whole card, James, and see which can and can't run top 10, I suppose. And
well, we may as well. We've
really
had,
personal
look,
and
we've
really
sort of
upset the
touched
connection.
on. We've touched on all the horses there that we wanted to go in depth with. What we'll do, we'll pull up the graphic of the field again, the market, please, the Caulfield Cup market for Saturday. We won't all say for each one, but I think everybody's in agreement that, Gold Trip definitely can run top 10 and he's a winning chance.
Yes.
And Dues. Jack's taking him on,
No.
but Gabby and Shane, can Due run a top 10 in that Caulfield Cup?
I'm going to say no.
Potentially 10. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's the first 10 past the post.
Maybe 10, but yeah, I think an improvement is needed. But it doesn't have an awful barrier in 9 compared to some of these here. So 10 potentially.
Knight's Order at $12. Gets Tim Clark back, gets the preferred sort of soft going. I think we all think he can definitely run a top 10.
Can win.
Yeah.
Montefilia is a no from me, but I don't think she's going anywhere near as good enough. Can anyone mount a chance that she runs top 10?
Yes.
No, not for me.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
And Numerian, Shane was definitely in the corner of Numerian at $12. Sort of a big yes from him. If Numerian tickles your fancy there, he's definitely a top 10 chance. Nonconformist is probably one we didn't touch on, actually. He's been in bloody good form this prep. And at $11, first of all, is he a chance to win? Because we did not touch on him. Jack, I know you've on the last couple of weeks of the show, Shane and yourself have both been, pretty happy with how he's going without winning or threatening really, but still running good races.
I don't think he's suited by the bottomless track, but going to keep him, we're going to be near the market. We're going to try and just sort of fence it with him because I think he's flying. I think on a firm track, I would have tried to find him.
And Vow and Declare. I think he's a top 10 chance in the race. Like a real heavy going is probably the concern or the unknown, but I think he can run well.
I think he can run top 10. You, Gab?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he can. I as I said previously, he's come back quite well this prep, and top 10 definitely.
Shane, you're saying no.
So it's only Shane who thinks he's got no hope at all.
Zero.
Now, one that we did spend a bit of time on, I think all of us are pretty keen, is the number 8, No Compromise, currently at $19 with baggybet.com. Massive yes. I think he's a big show to actually win the race.
I think he can win. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd certainly I want to be on. Just as a shame that there's better odds available. So, won't be back into the baggy bet.
What price do you want?
No, you can't do just a price for me. You got to do one in, all in, mate.
Yeah, I'll just turn it out right now for everyone.
31s, 41s, 51s. Oh, look how wet it is. It only beat Ladon de V last start.
Well, look, I reckon something should do for the punters.
It's 22 on the exchange. Righto.
All 4 of us here are keen, no compromise. We'll give him a great chance. So I reckon you do something for the punters.
$23 for the next little bit. There you go.
$23 punters. All 4 of us here are in agreement that he can not only run top 10, but he's a massive winning chance on Saturday. So appreciate Jack and the Baggy Bet team winding him out to $23. If you are watching the show, haven't downloaded the app, click on the link below, download the app and get involved on that no compromise price. Allegron, is a massive...
Can you do something about this?
What's happened?
Here we go.
What's happened?
Dead set. If this doesn't go through, I'll be on Twitter.
Yes. Going to the traders. How much have you tried to have on it?
So, just some NBLs, James. Responsibly. That's all I can afford.
So I can see.
Download the app today. Gamble responsibly. Best price anywhere. Caulfield Cup right now. Duas, Vow and Declare, no compromise. Benno, Great House, Durston, and we're the biggest of the corporates. Smoking Roman's still at $5. Interesting.
Look, what we'll do, we'll
gamble
go
responsibly.
into...
Gamble responsibly. Those prices are for everyone. It's not a promotion price. That's the real price. Gamble responsibly.
Well, you can only have one bet per race nowadays. So what is that a new rule?
No, you can do what you want. What do you say? No, get responsibly. Be careful.
Yeah, that's right.
So what we're going to do, we're going to show our next graphic, and we're going to go into each of our top fives. Obviously who we think can finish top 5 in the Caulfield Cup. We've got that's an actual real picture of Shane. He's going down to Melbourne, so he has been off the piss. And
he has been Uncle Chris's for 12 weeks.
On
the water walker.
That's what I look like in April. Ever since then, I've sat at my desk eating Uber Eats every day for dinner and lunch. So I look a little bit different than that now. But no compromise is a very easy bet for me to have James at the price. It's ticks all the boxes for the conditions it's going to encounter on Saturday. Smoking Romans, obviously, for everything I've discussed. Numerian, another one on speed. It's like these things aren't going to be rattling home from the back at the end of 2,400 meters on a bog track. I want them sort of, in the first sort of few, or at least from the 600. Knight's Order will be one of them, and Allegron, who I think the camp is just going super. Up there with Uncle Chris for grand final trainers. So obviously shopping the best prices for those sort of 5 was my aim, and I think I'll be winning on the race amongst those.
Some confidence there from Shane. I love it. Thanks, mate, for your top 5. And next, I think we've got Gaby's. We do.
Oh, who's that photo of, Gab? Did you get that one photoshopped or?
That one offline, off the line.
You were blind, were you?
I said off the line.
Oh,
I did. No. I've got Gold Trip there, and I'm not sure of the order here actually, but I thought brave effort last start. 3 wide the trip, still ran on well. I was hoping he could somehow sit just slightly handier here and slot in. Obviously got gun jockey and Mark Zara on board. Could definitely be his day today. I do like the fact he's not opening at $3, $3.70. He was sort of that price last start. We're getting $13 or $14 here, which I think is really good. Smoking Romans, obviously, I think he can progress again, get a nice lead and just be too good. And Benno, I thought, couldn't leave him out. I was tossing up between him and Allegron, but I thought I'll put him in. Barrier 20 obviously scares me. Where he sits, if he gets in, really not sure. No compromise. Great win in the Metropolitan. Great record in the wet and over the 2,400 metres. And Vow and Declare, I just thought he's been quite honest this prep, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him in the finish if he happens to get a substantial run.
Thanks, Gabby. We'll take a look at mine, and we'll leave last word of the race to the bookmaker on the panel. I think very similar to the other guys, so I don't need to go into too much detail. I've definitely got no compromise on top and at the price, so I'll be having a bet. I think Knight's Order gets a great setup. I love sort of the Tim Clark, Gay Waterhouse, gets the soft going for him. Yeah, one that I'm a little worried about if it gets to a real bog is Durston, but I really like that form there up in Sydney. He was rattling home, but probably the genuine heavy track is concerning, but happy to have a nibble there at the 41. Smoking Romans, love the drop in weight. Look, the price for me is probably a little bit skinny at the moment, so if he gets out, I'll be chopping out on him and Vow and Declare for all the reasons sort of said earlier. Now we'll have a look at Jack's top 5 in this year's Caulfield Cup. Take it away, mate.
I like Gold Trip. I like the SP profile. I like the jockey change. I think from 12, he can sit sort of 3-4 wide if he wants to. It wouldn't be his price if that's the best place to be. I think the hype's half real with this horse, and he finds a very winnable Caulfield Cup. I think No Compromise is airborne and probably tags Gold Trip in run. And I think, like I said, that sort of running line will be fine. Smoke and Romans will be very, very hard to beat. Ticks a lot of boxes. I think, just like James said, tiny bit tight in the price. But if you start betting, I wouldn't be losing on it at all. I think Knight's Order will look the winner for a really long way up on speed. Tough horse, gay, mutter, ticks a lot of boxes. I want to be with on-pace horses. Every horse I mentioned so far, I'd expect to be midfield or better. And the same with Numerian, who I think at double figures is value. It's airborne, and I think she's an elite trainer, Annabelle, and I think it'll improve and peak here.
Nice. So there we have it, punters. An in-depth preview to this year's Caulfield Cup, and also giving you our top 5 chances and a few horses that we think can run in the top 10. Now, if you haven't signed up to Baggy Bet, please click on the link below and do that. What we're going to do, something a little bit different before we get cracking into a preview of the Everest. We've got a graphic here, and you can all chat your answers below. So get ready. We've got 4 Caulfield Cup winners up on the screen. We're going to leave that up there for a minute. Now, the first correct answer in the YouTube chat below will win a $100 bonus bet at Baggy Bet. So we'll give you a minute to have a look. And whilst you are looking at that, Shane, who's your favourite Caulfield Cup winner?
Ethereal.
Probably the one you made the most money on.
Ethereal. It won the Caulfield Cup in, oh, goodness me. I don't know. What year would that have been, James? To Lisa, how long have we been married? It was, I think I was on my Buck show or something when it won the Caulfield Cup. 21 years ago, maybe. Is that right? 2001?
I don't know.
Something like that. Anyway, Ethereal. Good memory of that horse winning. Pocket Talk, of course, James. But my favourite Caulfield Cup that I wasn't remembering, but looking back, was certainly Viandacross. When it got beat. Didn't Viandacross get beat in the Caulfield Cup or something? Didn't he go wide or something?
Yeah.
Shane Dye.
Shane Dye.
I don't know. I'm certainly not old enough to know what you're talking about.
Gabby, do you have a favourite Caulfield Cup winner or Caulfield Cup memory?
Oh, look, I liked seeing Incentivised win last year. That was pretty exciting for us here in Queensland.
Oh, my God. It was absolutely sickening, Gab. The Toowoomba Tornado and all this other rubbish. Where was the Toowoomba Tornado when it was $1.90 and a maiden over a mile about 2 months earlier?
Now, Jack.
Least horse in the world.
That's the last time I backed it, too. That.
Half Brothers racing on the weekend if you want to get on, Shane.
What's it called? I'll lay it.
Argyle Lane.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It's in that 1,000-metre race at Eagle Farm. I'm swerving it. I think he can win.
And Jack, your favourite Caulfield Cup winner?
Jamaica.
Ah, yes.
That's the year that Jack started watching races, was it?
Just about.
Now we get to see the progeny of Jamaica running
tip
out.
off Kieran. Got the tip off Kieran.
I prefer Kieran with the long hair, too.
My favourite is definitely Pocket Talk. I was there the day that viewed Saluted in the Caulfield Cup at a nice juicy price there with a few mates. It was a very big afternoon, evening, morning.
We've got
got the quaddie the day Jamaica won. It was the biggest quaddie I've ever got. But, since then, great experience first go. But, probably haven't had that much fun since.
All righty, I think
we have a winner.
We have a winner?
Yeah, Josh Young.
No worries. What I'll get you to do is...
Chase him up. I'll chase him up.
Yeah, Shane will chase you up after the show, and we'll take that offline and sort that out. Thanks for everyone for playing. A few nice winners of the Caulfield Cup there. What we're going to do now is have a quick look at the Everest, the other sort of big race on the day up in Randwick. Now, Again, you'll see here we've got the
What price have I
orange.
got? I can't see that. What price are we saying?
We've got the orange for so we're top price there for Nature Strip at $2.30.
I'll put up $2.20 right now. $2.20. It's $2 everywhere else.
So, if the market has probably changed since we did these graphics this afternoon, so I'll read through them, Jack. If you can just let us know what price they currently are with Baggy. So, Nature Strip, you're offering $2.20 when the market's $2. You're happy to be top of the market
For a
Number
little bit
two,
longer.
Eduardo.
It's been pretty brutal already, to be honest. It's all they want to back. Eduardo, we're $10, so we're keeping that pretty cozy. There's better prices out there if you want to back it.
And last up, winner, Lost and Running.
We are currently $7 lost and running.
Mask Crusader.
We are currently $14. Mask Crusader,
Marzu.
$17.
Private Eye.
$15. Which
Overpass.
I think could be biggest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overpass. 61.
Ingratiating.
51.
Joyful Fortune.
71.
Shades of Rose.
51.
The 3-year-old Jack and O.
$11.
And Giga Kick.
$26.
All right, so we've got a few there. The price is obviously a little bit different. We do apologise for that just from when the graphic was made this afternoon. So they are sort of subject to change in that time frame. But
You know what that means? Full credit PVL. Like they're betting on this all the time.
And I mean, I think the obvious one that we will talk about, and I know that you two have a very differing opinion, but we'll hear from the bookmaker first. Why are you keen to take on the world's best sprinter?
Well, why not? You know, like what's the point of being a bookie if we're not going to take on these sort of horses for as much as we can afford, you know, reasonably? It's already pretty grim. But he's had 9 starts, second up for only 2 wins. I know it's a grand final camp, best horse ever, like best sprinter of recent memory. And this is grand final day, but it's a different preparation to what he's normally faced. Uncle Chris likes to be really traditional and repetitive in his processes. This horse has gone to Europe. We've seen it sort of slow other horses down before. I don't know. The market's all over the place. He was $1.90 after the barrow draw. He was out to sort of $2.30 early this morning. He's back into $2 now. We'll dangle it out there for a little bit longer and see what happens.
Now, Shane, I know you and I had
Hang on.
Here we go.
Did I hear him say he's top of the market, Private Eye?
Private Eye, yes.
Is he top of the market, Private Eye?
Yeah.
He is.
What price?
$15. What?
Sorry, what was the question?
I thought you were going to attack me for Nature Strip.
Oh, I thought you said that you're against it. Sorry. You're taking on Nature Strip. Good on you, hero. You've given us what a hero. 20 cents. Thanks for that. Honestly. Look, I suppose why I like Nature Strip. Oh, let's try and work this out. The best rider in the world, one of the best riders in the world, one of the best trainers we'll ever see in this country, the world's best sprinter against a bunch of B graders that are going to be riding for second place. No one's going to go and make Nature Strip work for this. There's slot holder deals, there's owner deals. It's just a yucky concept. And I've invested $400,000 a year for 3 years, and I need a return. And I ain't getting a return by taking Nature Strip on. I'm going to try and trail him into the race and run second. It is a complete moral.
If this was a $1 million race, $1 million Group 1 race,
Rachel King. If it was $1 million race, Rachel King would be handlebars down on overpass, trying to race it.
I think some speed. Shade of Rose, Joyful Fortune, Eduardo. They all want to go forward.
Yeah, of course they want to. I want to do things too, but I can't because I've got the
look
ability.
like that bloke on that picture. Yeah.
Honestly, this thing's a moral, James. It's just it's just a bet. It's a bet. There's no like, what's the worst it's going to do? Oh, it's going to be a heavy track. It'll be 3 wide, no cover. Fine.
Oh, there's people just backing it everywhere.
I think it's like that Jack's mentioned many times before. Don't overthink it and just back the best, fastest horse with the best jockey. That we're all going to see in our lifetime. I think.
Is there anything?
Do you give Eduardo a hope though, Shane? Like his average price versus Nature Strip's closer to $5 than 10.
Eduardo was second up. V Nature Strip, who was first up last start, and Nature Strip made Eduardo look like it was with its previous trainer in Melbourne. Like it absolutely kicked its brains in.
Yeah, but that's why it was in the grand final.
I understand horses being set for races and all that.
There might be like what you're saying, people trying to like manage their investments. This horse, no. Like they think they can win.
It's not the first time it's tried to beat Nature Strip here in the grand final. It hasn't got near it.
Gabby, we'll break it up. These two arguing. Are you Team Shane and all aboard Nature Strip, or are you in Jack's corner and think he can get beat?
Look, he is the best, and I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if he does win. But I actually don't mind Masked Crusader, to be honest. At least each way at the price. He won the shorts third up last year, and his run in the Premier Stakes behind Lost and Running was really good, and a part of the track that they weren't really making too much ground. So I think he's $15. So I thought that was a good each way bet at least, but I no knock Nature Strip. He's
$14 Masked Crusader.
I think the key to Masked Crusader is jumping with them. I mean, his last 5 starts, he's slowly away, and he always is that flashing down the outside, or in the shorts, he has to come up the inside because everyone else is down the outside. So, I think you sort of know early with him, if he can jump clean, he's got that turn of foot to beat Nature Strip.
I think also we might get a soft track potentially, just looking at the radar. I think they're only getting 3 to 5 mils tomorrow, so that would be handy as well.
Will you be walking the track, Gab, when you're down there for us?
Yes, if you'd like.
Well, there's a couple of factors there, because I know one bloke will be very keen, and that'll be our man in the yard over at the Mailbag in Scurry. He loves this horse, and he's like, he has this, like, the Nature Strip parade thing. I'm dying to see the report from the yard on Saturday. It's just like, he's just better than these. He knows it. Yeah.
He's completely airborne, Rob Scurry.
Did you see those photos on Twitter that Uncle Chris put up? Like, dead set, the horse is just in immaculate condition. It's
and I think from memory, from Rob's yard report first up, like he had a decent bet at Nature Strip, and said that's the best he's seen him. So
I've got a theory behind that. I've got a theory behind that. His Uncle Chris would have known. Uncle Chris would have known that he was going into this Everest first up, so he had to have him right to go first up, because he knew Everest second up. He's too good. He's too good. And this is the best sprinter in the world. Better. I'm betting. I'll bet.
But if you aren't involved,
Shane has bet. Shane has bet, James, along with a lot of other people since we went to 220. Yeah, a lot of people.
Let's have a look. We'll give the punters an update. What's he done?
He's just bet the NBL. Bloody hell. Not alone.
Well, that's just
full credit to you.
I'm betting obviously into a jurisdiction I don't normally bet big into. So I don't think there's anything wrong with backing the world's best sprinters in a sprint race in Australia. So
I can give you a live update of Shane's bets that he's had during the show. He did whip the gold credit card out beforehand and deposit, and was telling us all about it. And he's backed it up. He has had 500, as mentioned, on Smoke and Romans at $5. He's also had a $182 bet at $12 on Benno in the Caulfield Cup, and $91 on No Compromise on that massive price that Jack and the Baggy Bet team did wind him out to $23. And as we were talking, he's had $1,620 on the world's best sprinter at $2.20. So,
well done to me for getting the maths wrong.
But yes, did you?
I didn't have enough of it. I've left a little bit in the tank there at trying to bet to NBLs.
So I think with that nature strip bet there is joining a very fast growing queue of punters over at Baggy Bet who are keen to take nature strip on. Now, before we move into our
sorry James, sorry to interrupt again before we go. Linton Chataway, who works with me over at the mailbag. Linton, I told Jack this just before because Jack changed the price on Nature Strip earlier, and Linton's messaged me and said Linton writes a couple of articles for the mailbag. He works with me over at the mailbag, and he said, I did notice that Jack's the wrong price Nature Strip. I did take a fair bit of that. Thank you for me. He said he's at dinner with his wife for their engaged wedding anniversary, but he did take the price. He said Jack was the wrong price Nature Strip, and to thank him.
So Linton is out on his anniversary dinner with his wife, tuning into the live prices, and has snapped up some of the 220 on.
He was on. Yeah, he's on. He was on earlier. Jack must have wound it out a bit early or something.
I've wound it out since I started.
He did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Righto.
All right, what we'll do
our best bets and get over this.
So Jack heavily against Nature Strip, Shane and the majority of the punters so far
just keep
in his corner. Let's have a look at our best bets for the weekend. Take us away, Shane. I don't think we need any more, but we'll give you a final word on it.
What have I tipped here? Nature Strip. Did I?
Put your glasses on. Can you get your just start wearing your glasses, please?
No, look, Nature Strip should be well into odds on by jump time, and I won't be snacking on SP. I'll be snacking on real money. It'll win.
And Gabby, you've found something for us up north.
Yeah, well, I haven't been going that well down south, so we'll do something different. Eagle Farm Race 2, number 1, Highlights. This horse was really good last start. He absolutely flew home from last. Angela Jones will take the 3 kilos off here. Stepping back in distance, I'm not too worried about it. I think from barrier 4, I'm hoping he can sit a little bit handier and, absolutely fly home. So $3.10 there. Happy to have it as my best.
There's a few scratchings in that race, Gabby. It'll be on speed and winning now. Looking at those ones that have come out, it'll settle closer to speed. I'm with you. What price, Jack?
And I'm heavily in the corner of Pride of Jenny on Saturday. Forget last start, missing the start.
I did too. We're on it. Yeah. 2 back
was really good on pace. Gets Jamie Carr, massive jockey switch on Saturday. And I just can't believe that it's $7.50. Gamble responsibly, obviously, but that you can back that 1 by 3 all day for me. And Jack, your best of the weekend, please.
Race 8, number 9, Chain of Lightning. It was just J Car just sat on it at Caulfield. It was heavily backed. I think it'll atone for that. Nolan on, Moody Airborne.
What do you want it to do? Stand on it or something? How else do you ride a horse? You sit on it.
You gradually increase the tempo and not slow it down.
Righto.
Well, there's our best bets for the weekend. Couple at a price. Let's have a look at something with a little more value that we'd like to play on the each way basis. Shane.
No compromise in the cup. 2,400 metre slog by that time of the day. Would have won the Metropolitan by a couple of lengths if it didn't get chopped out in the straight, and would have started half the price.
Have you got a straw there?
Yeah, a gold-plated one, Jack. That's legit. Look, it's a gold-plated straw. We've got it from Moët and Chandon. Moët and Chandon.
Moving on, one that I would like to back each way is race 6, number 14, Never Standing Still.
What do you like about this horse?
Step up in grade, but I like the building the picket fence, sort of drawn out, which I think they'll be coming down the outside, and obviously has that heavy track form as well. So happy to have an each way bet in a pretty tough open race there. Race 6, Gabby.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, Gold Trip, brave effort last start, 3 wide, ran on well, hoping he can sit a bit handier, and hopefully it's his day to run well.
I'm with Gab, Gold Trip.
I hope it wins for the owner because I'm staying in Melbourne for 10 days with one of the part owners. So if it wins, I won't have to pay for anything for the week.
Be the battle of who's going better in that house, honestly.
I know that we've got to let Gab go. Is there any horse at all, other horse at all in the Everest that you want to be against, Jack? Like, is there anything that I declared immoral last start at $9 at Flemington that won with a leg in the air with massive weight and treated it like a barrier trial, or anything similar, that sort of profile that you don't like? Anything?
We're $16 Private Eye. We'll be that for a little bit longer. We're $2.20 Nature Street. We're $5 Smoke and Romans. Download the app today. Gamble responsibly. There's real prices for anyone. Do best.
Except for me. How about give me the price I want about a horse? No, then everyone else can follow me in.
I'm happy to take on Private Eye back in a proper sprinting race, not against B graders around a bend on a soft track.
You decide. I'll just keep an eye on your market, Jack. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Gab. Thank you, Shane.
Gabby, you have an amazing day at the Everest on Saturday. Shane, may you back plenty of winners with the team at Baggy. Jack, hope it goes well. Really, thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Thanks to our sponsors, puntingform.com.au and also baggybet.com. If you haven't downloaded the app, download it, but always gamble responsibly. Until next week, go well, punters. See ya.
Good luck.